Hey coin lovers! Welcome to the Worth Old Coins channel, your place to discover the hidden value and rare facts about old coins. In today's video we're revealing the top 4 valuable coins, and one of them might just be in your collection, so don't skip this video. Let's find out their real worth. Top 1. United Kingdom 1 penny 1971 coin, bearing the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Holds exceptional historical and numismatic significance as it represents the beginning of a new era in British monetary history, the transition from the old pre-decimal system to the decimal currency system. The year 1971, known as Decimal Day, February 15, 1971, marked one of the most important reforms in the United Kingdom's financial history, as the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence was replaced with a simpler and more modern decimal system. This monumental change made everyday financial transactions, accounting, and trade far more efficient and accessible to the public. The 1971 1 penny coin, therefore, was not merely a piece of metal but a symbol of modernization, national progress, and the continuation of royal heritage under Queen Elizabeth II's reign. The 1971 1 penny coin was the first decimal penny issued by the Royal Mint, replacing the large pre-decimal penny that had been in circulation since 1797. Under the old system, there were 12 pence in 1 shilling and 20 shillings in 1 pound, making 240 pence equal to 1 pound. The new decimal system simplified this by establishing 100 new pence in 1 pound, and the new penny was given the symbol 1p to distinguish it from the older denarius used for pre-decimal pence. This transition was a massive logistical effort for the Royal Mint, which produced billions of new coins to replace the old currency and to familiarize the British public with the new system. The obverse, front side, of the 1971 1 penny coin features the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin OBERA, one of the most respected British sculptors of the 20th century. His design shows the Queen wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece of jewelry given to her as a wedding gift in 1947. The portrait captures her youthful elegance and calm dignity, reflecting the image of a modern monarch guiding her nation through an era of transformation and modernization. Around her portrait is the inscription Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1971 inch, which stands for Elizabeth II, Dei Gratia Regum Fidei Defensor, Latin for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This traditional inscription continues a royal practice dating back centuries, symbolizing the Queen's divine right to rule and her role as the head of the Church of England. The reverse, backside, of the 1971 1 penny coin was designed by Christopher Ironside, another renowned British artist and coin designer. It features an image of the portcullis with chains, surmounted by a crown, a design inspired by the badge of the Palace of Westminster, home to the British Parliament. The portcullis, an ancient symbol of strength, security, and governance, has been used as a royal emblem since the reign of King Henry VII. Its inclusion on the 1p coin emphasizes the authority of the British Parliament and the unity of the monarchy and state. The words "New Penny" are inscribed above the design, while the denomination 1 is placed below it. The phrase "New Penny" was used on coins issued between 1971 and 1981 to distinguish them from the older pre-decimal pennies. After 1981, the inscription was changed to 1 penny. From a technical standpoint, the 1971 1 penny coin was made of bronze, an alloy composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, giving it its characteristic reddish-brown color. The coin has a diameter of 20.32 millimeters, a weight of 3.56 grams, and a plain, smooth edge. Its smaller size compared to the old penny reflected the reduced value in the new decimal system, as 1 new penny equaled 1/100th of a pound, whereas 1 old penny had been 1/240th of a pound. This redesign made the coin lighter, more compact, and better suited for modern commerce and coin handling machinery. The Royal Mint, located at the time in Llantrisant, South Wales, was responsible for minting the 1971 1 penny coins. The Mint had recently relocated from Tower Hill, London, to its new site to accommodate the massive production required for decimalization. In 1971, alone hundreds of millions of 1p coins were struck to ensure adequate supply for the public and businesses. This large-scale minting operation was one of the most ambitious in the Mint's history, involving meticulous planning, advanced technology, and extensive public education campaigns to familiarize citizens with the new money. The historical context of this coin's release is vital to understanding its importance. Decimalization had been debated in Britain since the 19th century, but it was only in the mid-20th century that serious steps were taken toward reform. By the 1960s, the complexity of the old system was seen as outdated, especially in an era of increasing international trade and modernization. The Decimal Currency Act of 1969 formally authorized the change, and on February 15, 1971, Britain officially switched to the decimal system. Public education campaigns, including advertisements, leaflets, and even school programs, were launched to help people adapt. The 1971 one-penny coin thus became a visible and tangible part of this national transformation, a bridge between the traditional British past and a forward-looking modern era. From a numismatic perspective, the 1971 one-penny coin is highly collectible for its historical significance, especially among decimal coin enthusiasts. While it is not rare due to the enormous number of coins produced, uncirculated or proof specimens struck with polished dies for collectors hold special value. These proof coins were often sold in official Royal Mint decimal coin sets, which commemorated the historic introduction of the decimal system. The 1971 one-penny remains an essential piece in any complete British coin collection, representing not just a denomination but a turning point in the nation's monetary evolution. The symbolism behind the coin's design and issuance is profound. Queen Elizabeth II's portrait signified continuity, stability, and tradition during a time of significant change, while the portcullis design on the reverse reflected the enduring strength and authority of the British Parliament. Together, they encapsulate the balance between heritage and progress, a theme central to Britain's identity in the late 20th century. Top 2. The United Kingdom one-penny 1988 coin, featuring the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, stands as an enduring symbol of British history, tradition, and the continuity of the monarchy throughout the late 20th century, issued during a time of economic reform and modernization in the United Kingdom. The 1988 penny represents not only a practical instrument of currency, but also a continuation of the decimal coinage system that began in 1971. The coin was minted by the Royal Mint and circulated widely throughout the nation, used in countless everyday transactions, shops, and markets, a small yet meaningful representation of Britain's stable and trusted economy under Queen Elizabeth II's reign. By the late 1980s, the penny had become a familiar part of daily life in Britain, maintaining its symbolic and functional importance even as the global economy evolved rapidly. The decimal one penny had first been introduced in 1971, replacing the old pre-decimal penny following Britain's monumental shift to the decimal currency system on February 15, 1971, an event historically known as Decimal Day. Under the new system, £1 sterling, £1, was divided into 100 new pence, replacing the old division of 240 pence per pound. The new penny, denoted as 1p, was smaller, lighter, and easier to use in modern commerce compared to its pre-decimal counterpart. By 1988, the decimal system had long been established, and the new penny had become one of the most widely recognized and trusted denominations in circulation. The 1988 one-penny coin was struck in bronze, composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, giving it its characteristic reddish-brown metallic appearance. The coin measures 20.32 millimeters in diameter, weighs 3.56 grams, and features a plain, smooth edge. These specifications had remained unchanged since its introduction in 1971, reflecting the stability and consistency of British coinage standards. However, the 1988 issue stands out for its artistic detail, precision minting, and historical context within the late Cold War era, a time when Britain was reaffirming its global identity through innovation, diplomacy, and leadership under Queen Elizabeth II's steady rule. The obverse, front side, of the 1988 penny features the third definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by the acclaimed sculptor Raphael Maklauf. This portrait was first introduced in 1985 and used on all British coins until 1997. Maklauf's design portrays the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a beautiful diamond-studded crown traditionally worn by Her Majesty on the way to and from the state opening of Parliament. The portrait was intentionally more regal and mature than earlier designs, reflecting the Queen's established role as a respected monarch of global influence and national stability. Around the Queen's portrait is the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. F.D.1988 inch, which translates to, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This traditional phrase reaffirms both her divine right to rule and her spiritual duty as head of the Church of England, a legacy of centuries of British royal and religious tradition. The reverse, backside, of the coin was designed by Christopher Ironside, one of Britain's most celebrated coin designers, whose work helped define the imagery of the decimal coinage series. The reverse features a portcullis with chains, surmounted by a crown. This design was inspired by the badge of the Palace of Westminster, which symbolizes the British Parliament, the seat of democracy and governance in the United Kingdom. The crowned portcullis is an emblem of authority, stability, and protection, linking the monarchy and the government in their shared duty to serve the nation. Beneath the portcullis appears the numeral 1, representing the denomination, and above it the inscription 1 penny. The designs. Simplicity and symbolic power made it one of the most recognizable reverse designs in the world of coinage, admired for its balance of elegance and meaning. By 1988, the 1 penny coin had already been in circulation for 17 years, and its production continued primarily to meet everyday commercial demand and to replace worn-out coins. The Royal Mint, located in Llantrisant, South Wales, was responsible for minting the coin. The 1988 issue did not introduce any major design or metal changes, but it maintained high production quality and precision consistent with the mint standards. Billions of 1 penny coins were in active circulation by this time, reflecting the coin's essential role in Britain's retail economy, vending machines, and daily transactions. The economic context of the late 1980s adds depth to the history of the 1988 penny. During this period, the United Kingdom was experiencing major shifts under Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher's government, with policies focusing on free market economics, privatization, and reduced state intervention. Inflation rates had begun to stabilize compared to the turbulent 1970s, and Britain's economy was showing renewed confidence. Coins like the 1988 penny symbolized the enduring value of British currency amidst global economic change, a tangible expression of national trust, commerce, and resilience. From a numismatic perspective, the 1988 1 penny coin is not particularly rare due to its large mintage, but it is highly collectible as part of the full decimal coinage series. Collectors value coins in uncirculated or proof condition, especially those included in Royal Mint proof sets, which were produced for collectors and often featured sharper detail, polished surfaces, and protective packaging. Proof coins of 1988 were struck with special dies and greater care, showcasing the artistry of the design in its finest form. The symbolism of the 1988 penny also reflects the unity between Britain's ancient traditions and its modern democratic values. The Queen's portrait on the obverse represents continuity, duty, and stability, a living symbol of Britain's centuries-old monarchy, while the portcullis design on the reverse symbolizes the authority of Parliament and the democratic governance of the people. Together, they encapsulate the essence of the United Kingdom's constitutional monarchy, a nation rooted in history yet adaptable to change. Top 3. United Kingdom 1 penny 1981 coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II stands as a small yet powerful emblem of British heritage, unity, and royal legacy. Issued by the Royal Mint during the vibrant early 1980s, this coin played a crucial role in the modern decimal system of British currency, which had been introduced a decade earlier. The 1981 penny reflects both tradition and progress, the enduring monarchy symbolized by the Queen's portrait and the new era of economic modernization that defined late 20th century Britain. Produced in vast numbers for general circulation, the 1981 1 penny remained a cornerstone of British daily life, used in millions of transactions, symbolizing national stability and identity under Queen Elizabeth II's long and respected reign. The decimal 1 penny was first introduced in 1971, replacing the old pre-decimal penny when Britain transitioned to a decimal currency system on February 15, 1971, an event known as Decimal Day. Under this new system, £1 sterling, £1, was divided into 100 new pence, replacing the older division of 240 pence per pound. The new decimal penny was smaller, lighter, and easier to handle than its predecessor, reflecting the nation's modernization and adaptation to global economic standards. By 1981, the decimal system had become deeply established and widely accepted across the United Kingdom, making coins such as the 1 penny an essential part of daily commerce and cultural continuity. The 1981 1 penny coin was struck in bronze, composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, giving it a distinct reddish-brown metallic sheen. It measured 20.32 millimeters in diameter, weighed 3.56 grams, and featured a plain edge. These specifications remained consistent with earlier issues, as they had proven durable and practical for everyday use. Though small in denomination, the penny's design and composition were carefully crafted to represent both functional excellence and symbolic heritage, a hallmark of British coinage. The 1981 issue was minted in large numbers to support everyday transactions and to replace older worn coins, showing how vital this small denomination was to the functioning of the national economy. The obverse, front side, of the 1981 penny features the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin OBE. This iconic portrait, introduced in 1968, had become one of the most widely recognized images of the Queen worldwide. Ian Machin's elegant depiction, the Queen faces right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece of jewelry she received as a wedding gift from her grandmother, Queen Mary. The portrait captures her youthful grace, confidence, and dignity, a reflection of the modern forward-looking image of the British monarchy. Surrounding the portrait is the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II de Gireage. FD 1981 inch, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This long-standing royal title reaffirms both her spiritual authority as head of the Church of England and her constitutional role as sovereign of the United Kingdom. The reverse, backside, of the 1981 penny was designed by Christopher Ironside, one of Britain's most respected coin designers. It features the crowned portcullis with chains, a historic emblem associated with the Palace of Westminster, the seat of the British Parliament. The portcullis, a traditional symbol of protection and authority, has deep historical roots in English heraldry and architecture. Its inclusion on the penny represents the unity between monarchy and Parliament, two institutions that form the foundation of the United Kingdom's constitutional monarchy. Above the portcullis appears the inscription, 1 penny, and below it the numeral 1, signifying its denomination. The crowned portcullis design became one of the most enduring and respected images in British coinage, admired for its clarity, symbolism, and timeless elegance. The Royal Mint, located in Llantrisant, South Wales, was responsible for minting the 1981 penny. During this period, the mint had achieved a global reputation for precision and craftsmanship, producing coins not only for the United Kingdom but also for many other countries around the world. The 1981 penny was minted in large quantities, ensuring its wide availability for everyday use. It was also produced in limited proof sets for collectors, showcasing mirror-like surfaces and sharper details achieved through a specialized minting process. Proof versions of the 1981 penny are now particularly valued by numismatists for their beauty and preservation of fine detail. Economically, 1981 was a challenging yet transformative year for Britain. The country was under the leadership of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, whose government pursued ambitious economic reforms focused on controlling inflation, reducing state intervention, and revitalizing private enterprise. The early 1980s were marked by both industrial decline and a growing shift toward a modern, service-based economy. Despite these challenges, the stability of the British currency, represented in part by coins like the 1 penny, symbolized resilience and trust in the national system. In this context, the penny was more than just a coin. It was a tangible reminder of Britain's enduring identity and faith in progress. In terms of numismatic interest, the 1981 1 penny is common in circulation but significant to collectors due to its age and its place in the evolution of the Queen's portraits, since it was the last few years to feature Arnold Mackin's youthful effigy before being replaced by Raphael Maklauf's more mature portrait in 1985. It serves as a key transitional piece. In modern British coinage history, collectors value examples in uncirculated or proof condition, where the bronze retains its original reddish tone and luster. Over time, circulated examples often develop a dark patina due to oxidation of the copper content, which can enhance the coin's antique appearance. Top 4. United Kingdom 1 penny 2005 coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II stands as a symbol of British identity, modern design, and the long-standing legacy of the monarchy in everyday life. Issued by the Royal Mint, this coin represents one of the smallest denominations in the UK's decimal currency system. Yet it carries immense historical and cultural significance. By 2005, Britain's 1 penny had already served over 3 decades since the introduction of decimalization in 1971, and it remained a vital component of the nation's economic system. The 2005 penny not only reflects the continued stability of British coinage under Queen Elizabeth II's reign, but also highlights the country's commitment to preserving heritage while embracing technological and design advancements in minting. It embodies the spirit of a modern Britain proud of its royal traditions, democratic values, and rich cultural evolution. The decimal penny was first introduced in 1971, marking one of the most important changes in British monetary history, the transition from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to the simpler decimal structure. In this new system, £1 sterling was divided into 100 pence, making calculations easier for the public and aligning the UK with international standards. The 2005 1 penny coin follows this decimal heritage and continued the format established decades earlier. Tea was produced in large quantities for circulation, ensuring that even the smallest transactions could be conducted conveniently. Despite being of low face value, the 1 penny coin symbolizes accessibility and inclusion, ensuring that every member of society, regardless of wealth, could participate in the nation's economy. The 2005 1 penny was struck in copper-plated steel, a composition change that began in 1992 to replace the earlier bronze alloy. This adjustment was primarily economic, as the rising cost of copper made bronze coins increasingly expensive to produce. The coin has a diameter of 20.32 millimeters, a weight of 3.56 grams, and a plain edge, maintaining the same dimensions as its bronze predecessors. The copper-plated surface gives it a bright reddish luster when new, although over time it may darken due to exposure and oxidation. This change in composition reflects the evolution of minting technology and the Royal Mint's commitment to efficiency and sustainability while retaining the coin's iconic appearance and recognizability. The obverse, front side, of the 2005 one penny features the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the British sculptor Ian Rank Broadley FRBS. Introduced in 1998, this portrait marked a significant artistic shift from earlier depictions of the Queen. Rank Broadley's design presented a more mature and realistic image of Her Majesty, showing her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most famous and beloved royal adornments. Unlike earlier portraits that sought to idealize the Queen's appearance, Rank Broadley's version captured her natural grace and dignity with a greater sense of humanity and realism. The inscription encircling the portrait reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg F.D.2005, an abbreviation of the Latin phrase, Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This traditional royal title emphasizes both her constitutional authority and her spiritual role as head of the Church of England. The reverse, backside, of the 2005 penny continues the classic design by Christopher Ironside, a distinguished British artist who created the reverse for the original 1971 decimal penny. It features the crowned portcullis with chains, a symbol long associated with the Palace of Westminster, home to the British Parliament. The portcullis, a gate or grille used in medieval fortifications, symbolizes strength, security, and the safeguarding of democracy. Its depiction under a crown unites the concepts of monarchy and government, representing the constitutional balance at the heart of the United Kingdom. Above the portcullis appears the denomination inscription, 1 penny, and below it the numeral 1, denoting its value. The elegance and clarity of Ironside's design have made it one of the most enduring images in British coinage, remaining unchanged for decades and universally recognized as a symbol of national stability and governance. The Royal Mint, headquartered in Llantrisant, South Wales, was responsible for minting the 2005 one penny coin. By this time, the Mint had established itself as one of the world's leading coin producers, supplying not only British coinage but also currency for numerous other nations. The minting of the 2005 penny involved advanced techniques in precision engineering, die engraving, and quality control, ensuring consistency across millions of coins. Most 2005 pennies were struck for circulation, but a smaller number were also produced in brilliant uncirculated (BU) and proof finishes for collectors. These high-quality editions feature sharp details and mirror-like surfaces, representing the pinnacle of the Royal Mint's craftsmanship. Historically, 2005 was a notable year in the later period of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. Marked by national reflection and continued modernization, Britain was undergoing economic growth and social transformation. With an increasing embrace of technology, globalization, and multiculturalism. In numismatic terms, the 2005 penny serves as a bridge between traditional coinage design and the forthcoming artistic revolution that would take place in 2008, when the UK introduced a completely new series of reverse designs across its coins featuring sections of the Royal Shield of Arms. Thus, the 2005 one penny stands as one of the final issues to bear the classic Ironside reverse, making it a historically important coin for collectors and historians alike. From a numismatic perspective, the 2005 penny is not rare, as it was minted in large quantities for everyday use. However, it holds enduring interest due to its transitional place in modern British coinage history. Collectors often seek examples in pristine condition, especially proof coins, to appreciate the fine detail of Ian Rank Broadley's lifelike portrait and the crisp geometry of Ironside's portcullis design. The switch from bronze to copper-plated steel also makes it a noteworthy study in material science and economic adaptation. Despite its low face value, the coin's combination of royal symbolism, artistic refinement, and technical precision gives it an importance far beyond its monetary worth. Symbolically, the 2005 one penny coin embodies the resilience and continuity of the British nation. The Queen's image on the obverse represents unity, leadership, and duty, the personal virtues that defined her reign, while the portcullis on the reverse evokes Parliament and the rule of law. Together, they signify the enduring partnership between monarchy and democracy that defines the United Kingdom's constitutional system. The penny's very existence in an age of digital payments and inflation underscores its role as a timeless link to tradition, reminding citizens of the tangible heritage embedded in the nation's currency. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.